Lemmy, the Spiny Survivor. WEDGE Talk by VICKY.
Through the cool months, I wonder how Lemmy is going. Our meeting a few years ago left a strong impression. He lays low in the cold, so it's a time when we rarely cross paths. As the season warms, I look for signs of his presence. I had been weeding near the driveway when I first spotted him. He was a young adult, but his colour seemed too dull. I approached for a closer look and sat on the ground nearby. His response remains clear in my memory. He came towards me and pressed his body against my leg. The sensation straightened my back, widened my eyes. Was he so terribly sick? Had he lost his hearing, vision and sense of smell? I could clearly see his skin was patchy pink and flaky, his hair thinned and many quills broken. His eyes, like his slightly damp nostrils, were peppered with soil. One seemed almost bright enough, the other half closed. I moved slowly, hoping he wouldn't be frightened. He remained unfussed. He didn't tuck his head in, didn't clamp down in typical echidna style. Surely a phone call to the wildlife carers was necessary. I rushed to the house, grabbed my phone and returned. He had moved a few metres and continued to show no sign of concern at my presence. The wildlife carer said that they would come over as soon as possible. Herding an echidna is not an easy task. It seemed to me this poor creature had lost his senses, as my gently stomping feet had no effect in stopping his meanderings. Surprisingly, as soon as the wildlife carer stepped out of her car and was within a few metres, Lemmy responded as most echidnas do when they feel threatened. Head down, body firmly pressed into the earth. In an instant I was thrilled and relieved, but also confused. We waited. Moving an echidna in this position can cause it serious injury. We kept waiting. His nose emerged, but within a flash he was tucked down again. His senses were sharp and confident. Time passed. Again a rustle. Again a quick defensive response. Coupled with their quills, it is excellent protection from predation. Foxes and cats have decimated Australia's fauna populations, particularly species similar in size to an echidna. Remarkably, echidnas survive in the fringes of the city and are the most widespread animal in Australia, adapted to the highest snowy mountains, tropics and deserts. After almost an hour, the wildlife carer and I agreed that I would keep watch, attempt to scoop him up if he emerged, carefully place him in the tub she'd bought and call her. And so she left. Within minutes, Lemmy lifted his nose, sniffed the air, paused as it pointed in my direction and unclaimed his body. Off he trundled. Surprise slowed time and stilled my being. Suddenly, I remembered my task and scooped him up, apologising and explaining. He didn't seem fussed. I called the wildlife carer and she returned. Looking after an echidna is not a simple undertaking, as they are strong, astonishing climbers, formidable diggers and clever. Lemmy ended up in Healesville Sanctuary for specialist attention. It is there he became known as Lemmy, as staff thought it was apt for him to carry the name of heavy metal legend and founder of Motorhead. Weeks later, Lemmy returned home. We carefully tipped the tub to the side, and he ventured out in his own time. Flaky skin had more or less healed, and a more vibrant colour returned to his fuzz and quills. The carers at the sanctuary had done all they could. They speculated that the cause of his illness was a response to a tick bite, but his survival remained in question. From that day, I would regularly see him poking around the garden in his area where ants had established colonies. I watched as he pressed his snout in the narrow spaces between paving bricks and occasionally drank from a shallow container. Week by week, his health improved. His skin irritation eased. Quills grew smooth and strong, and eyes brightened, though one still squinted just a little. Every year as the season warms, I am relieved to see Lemmy. He too remembers our friendship. He still responds to sound and vibration as most echidnas do, by turning in and bunkering down. But as I call to him and approach, his nose lifts, sniffs the air, and signals that all is well. He continues his foraging, and I remain mesmerised by the structure of his quills, his padded feet and curved claws, his snout that looks soft yet pierces through hardened clay. I worry for him as he ventures further afield, crossing the road where other animals are often killed. On that day all those years ago, I realised that I was familiar to him. He knew my scent, my movement, my voice. Perhaps he knew me better than I had known him.
About Vicky. Vicky SHUKUROGLOU is a member of Nillumbik. Find them at nillumbik.org.